super smart and great at hockey. She's really creative.
When released a decade ago, Inside Out became a household name, as few children's animations were willing to dive into the complicated world of mental health, grief, and the outward expression of both. The film used personified versions of the most universal emotions to tell a heart-wrenching story about acceptance. The long-awaited sequel, Inside Out 2, follows many of the same themes as Riley experiences physical and emotional changes, struggling to keep up with the new whirlwind of emotions in light of starting high school in a few months. The franchise isn't afraid to push the perception of what happens within the human psyche in times of trouble. Riley remains a relatable and sympathetic outlet for these types of stories. Today's video predicts how Riley's story can continue with a third edition to the film series.
Remember when we all finally came up to headquarters?
Nostalgia.
That was like 30 seconds ago, nostalgia.
Yeah.
Number 1. New emotions. When fans heard that Inside Out 2 would feature new emotions, they were surprised as only 5 core emotions appeared in the original film, regardless of whose mind was shown. Immediately, people began to theorize about where the other emotions come and go from and if they existed in the minds of the franchise's adults. In Riley's case, new emotions arrived in headquarters when her puberty began. She must experience anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui at new heights. They work together as a group, all on the same page, and working toward a shared goal throughout the film. A 6th emotion named nostalgia also makes brief appearances throughout the film. However, it's an ongoing gag that she's arrived too early and won't be relevant to Riley for several years. These scenes alone prove that Riley has more emotions coming her way, likely to help navigate her through new chapters in her life. Interestingly, it seems all emotions live in headquarters, as mind workers update the area to accommodate anyone moving in. However, the core 5 remain the same, with emotions like joy or sadness always remaining at the control panel for their respective person. The sequel also provides a brief glimpse into Mr. and Mrs. Anderson's minds during the credits. When asking Riley about camp, they each experience anxiety when Riley brushes off their question. The brief appearance of their anxiety implies that Riley will share many of the same emotions with the adults in her life, but she may learn to coexist and comply with them. For example, Mrs. Anderson's anxiety only needs a cup of tea to calm down, while Riley's currently requires numerous soothing activities.
Oh my gosh, Mom, just go away! Oh!
Number 2. Anxiety's influence. Anxiety is the driving force behind many of Riley's actions in Inside Out 2. When she takes over headquarters, she starts an initiative to change Riley, replacing her sense of self to make her someone more anxious, cautious, and with low self-esteem. Anxiety's effects are something that remains when the film ends, as joy allows all of Riley's memories and experiences to shape who she will become. By doing so, all 9 emotions have a role to play in Riley's life, as their opinions and knowledge will help her overcome environmental and situational struggles. In a third film, the franchise may press on what it means to have anxiety and what could happen when it grows into a disorder. The sequel gave a taste of this for a moment, showcasing how anxiety can stifle other emotions, influence decisions, and result in intense responses, such as Riley's panic attack in the penalty box. Anxiety becomes such a controlling force in Riley's life that she abandons her morals and sense of right and wrong to ease her worries. As Riley grows older, there may be moments and situations that would allow her anxiety to grow intense. Specifically, Riley felt deeply troubled by losing her friends the following school year. She doesn't want to be alone and become friendless in a new place. Her anxiety may also be influenced by her experience moving to San Francisco when she had to leave her friends behind and start over. If she experiences something similar in the future, be it another move or the loss of a loved one, anxiety could return to the control panel in full force.
Don't worry, Riley, you're in good hands. Now, let's change everything about you.
Number 3. Riley's relationships. When Riley finally settles into her life in San Francisco at the end of Inside Out, she meets a boy named Jordan at her hockey game. Later, Jordan returns in the short Riley's First Date when he arrives at the Andersons' home so they can go meet their mutual friends. During the short, Riley is broached by her parents because they worry she may have a crush on Jordan, believing she's too young to date at 12 years old. At the time, Riley denies these claims, behaving as if Jordan is a friend and she has no romantic interest in him. However, in Inside Out 2, the truth comes to light. While joy and the other emotions are trying to recover Riley's sense of self, they come across a monument resembling Mount Rushmore. Instead of presidential faces, the monument immortalizes Riley's top crushes so far in her life. Among the faces is Jordan, meaning she always had a crush on him or that it developed during the 2 years between the films. It's currently unknown if Riley still has a crush on Jordan, but if so, she could pursue a genuine relationship with him in high school. Since the two of them are friends and have a mutual crush, they have a solid foundation to become each other's first partners, adding adding a romantic aspect to the overall plot of the third film.
Mount Rushmore?
Those are her top 4?
Number 4, Firehawk Captain. The primary reason that Riley idolizes Val is because she is one of the youngest people to join the Firehawks. She made it on the high school team as a freshman and scored 2 goals during her first hockey summer camp, earning herself a reputation as one of the best players on the team. During Inside Out 2, Val takes Riley under her wing, going out of her way to make Riley feel welcome and self-assured. She also supports Riley, being the only voice of reason who encourages Riley to be herself and enjoy the camp's experiences. Once the next school year starts, Riley remains with the Firehawks before she joins the team, sitting with Val and the other hockey players as she waits to see if she made the team. The film's end heavily implies that Riley overcame her struggles and proved her worth, as she checks the notification with an excited and hopeful expression. Hockey is a pivotal part of Riley's life. She learned it from her parents and has partaken in the sport since she could walk. She'll likely pursue hockey into college or her professional life, and the first part of accomplishing that could be becoming the Firehawks team captain, especially after Val graduates and can pass on the torch.
Oh, you're the one Coach told us about. Riley, from Michigan, right?
Number 5, New Friends. There's a recurring trend in the narrative of the Inside Out franchise. Riley loses friends in some commodity and must learn to move forward alone before meeting new people who help her throughout the current chapter of her life. In Inside Out, she left behind her childhood friend Meg and their shared hockey team. She later joins the Foghorns and becomes a pivotal part of the team. Since she meets Grace and Bree in class, as shown in a flashback sequence in Inside Out 2, her friends likely followed her to join the team. However, after learning that her new friends won't attend the same high school, Riley is left with the notion that she'll be alone again, starting over at a new school. But she does reconcile with Grace and Bree while earning a spot on Firehawks, joining a prolific hockey team in her community. Unfortunately, Riley is the youngest member of the Firehawks. Because her friends are upperclassmen, they will inevitably graduate and leave Riley alone once more. The third film could follow Riley through this trial period, during which she may need to connect with others and make new friends. She could also take on a mentor role, finding another helpful hockey player who wants a shot at joining the high school hockey team. Inside Out has always excelled at capturing what it's like to grow up, especially during a transition period that can become overwhelming or stressful. Moving, changing schools, losing friends, and experiencing physical changes can make young people feel lost or out of control. Riley has experienced many stressful situations over 3 years, but she always overcomes these trials to become a more realized version of herself. The third film in the franchise can follow the same format, following Riley as she experiences high school and encounters more complex issues.
Every bit of Riley makes her who she is. And we love all of our girl.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Riley, how was camp?
It's the apocalypse!
It was good.